I've got a story to tell. Now please ignore the very bad accent, whatever accent it may be, as I tell you a story I make up at the top of my head right now. One day, Sherlock Holmes is walking down the street, and supposedly Watson turns the corner and says, "Sherlock, I've misplaced my left shoe." And Sherlock says, "How's that? You're wearing your left shoe, Watson." And Watson goes, "Yes, but I lost a different left shoe to a different pair of shoes." And Sherlock goes, "But you don't have a different pair of shoes." So Watson goes, "Oh." Now, this humdrum, stupid, pointless story was told by a student at MIT as he was lecturing at class. The teacher said, "That has got to be the stupidest story I've ever heard in my life. You fail." And the girl goes, "Why?" "Because that was a pointless story. It had nothing to do with the topic." And the girl goes, "Well, what's the topic?" And the guy goes, "Chemistry." And the girl goes, "Well, maybe by chemistry you could mean the chemistry between Sherlock Holmes and Watson." And the professor goes, "Are you implying that Sherlock Holmes has a crush on Watson and vice versa?" And the girl goes, "No, I just mean they're still breathing the same particles in the air, working back and forth between their lungs, going from oxygen to carbon dioxide and backwards and forwards, that kind of chemistry." And the teacher flunks her for making him look like an idiot and making herself look like a bigger one. Now that story, involving the girl telling the story of Sherlock Holmes and Watson and the professor yelling at her, supposedly was told by a different student at Grant. What's that college? You know, the big one.
Stanford?
Yeah, okay. Stanford. This whole story is being told by a student at Stanford as he is lecturing in the library, standing on the table waving books in the air. Now all the students are gathered around him, mesmerized by this pointless story, which seems to be going nowhere.
Oh.
Coffee's fine. So he's waving books around, and the librarian comes up and says, "What are you doing? I could have you expelled for something this chaotic." And the guy goes, "Well, how could you? It's September 1st. And the librarian goes, "What does that have to do with anything?" And the guy goes, "On September 1st, you have to do things very, very chaotic in a library, or else they'll kick you out of the college." So the librarian, being completely gullible, believes this without any second thought, and she runs around the hallways, throwing books everywhere. And she gets fired for it. And when she tells everyone that this student tricked her into doing all of this, she realizes she's an idiot. Now, there's a sort of a story within a story within a story within a story working here, because this story about the librarian getting fired because of the boy who was telling the story about the girl at the college with the professor talking about the story about Sherlock Holmes and Watson, it's supposedly all this big collaboration of works that was told by this old man sitting in the street by Blockbuster down on Van Nuys. You see, he told me, if you ever stay up all night and tell someone this story, you'll have wasted about 5 minutes of their time, 5 minutes of yours, and you'll smell waffles. Yeah. Here's to 3:54 in the morning. Coffee's fine. We're complaining about it.
Stop drinking that.
Well, I finally made it through my second cup of coffee, and now we move on to the third cup of pure evil. I mean coffee. Pure 100% coffee.
Need something with syrup on it.
Ew. What are you doing?
I stay on the counter.
Normally I would look over to see, but I'm a bit busy thinking about how how this coffee is going to taste. I think it's cold. They're
Sick.
heated up. Oh no.
It's gonna like yuck.
It's a little strong and it burns the
Go to the bathroom
nostrils.
again.
That's great to hear. "40 seconds. Looking up at the clock, it is exactly 4 o'clock. Well, what do you know? That's my watch. If you could just say it. That's my watch. I love it. No wait, I hate it. I hate this watch. I really do. I miss my old watch, but it broke. I go through watches quickly. I'm not wearing my hat, but I don't think you can see my hair anyways. Am I still tight?
They sort of can.
American testing. 1, 2, 3.
American?
Anchovies. Yankee. McDonald's. There we go.
What?
I kept talking with the British thing accent.
British don't,
Third cup of coffee.
British don't have McDonald's, do they?
Sure they do.
They have like McDonald Tays.
They even got McDonald's.
Queen's
They got
Don-
McDonald's in the middle of Iran. Of course, Britain has them. I think this camera's looking at me funny. Maybe I'm aggravated because of sleep deprivation. But then again, just because I'm paranoid and angry and frustrated and mindless and insane doesn't mean the camera's not actually laughing at me.
Is it Molocrons? Or Molocrons? Like,
Hypochondria?
no. The thing's thinner in the camera than it does in real life.
No wonder I haven't thought about how fat I am. It makes us look thin.
Huh?
The camera takes off 20 pounds.
Ew. So that makes me like 50 pounds.
Are you implying that you're 30 pounds?
No, wait, no. Didn't you just say that takes off 20 pounds?
Yes.
So if I was 50, then it'd be 70 pounds. I weigh 75 pounds. Still.
That's not right.
Yeah.
So here we are, pouring the 4th and final cup of coffee, because that's kind of all we have left. What a waste. Grant didn't drink his. Come on, get in there, kid. Go, 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 go. So that will make 3 1/4 cups of coffee tonight. This morning, whatever it goes for about 30 seconds. Why, it's 4:15 in the morning. Wow, I downed that cup in 15 minutes. So here I am on my 3rd1/4 cup of coffee. Last coffee I'll be getting, seeing how Grant took the last cup and this is all that remains in the pot. So, down it goes. And this is proof that the coffee is indeed drinkable. That had nothing to do with the coffee. The cup must be defective. It is. It's that ceramic mug thing. They're trying to kill me. Well, I think that's proof enough to say that I know how to make a cup of coffee.